Hello and welcome to the 12th Java programming video. In this video I'm going to talk about arrays and I'm going to show you how to use them. Basically an array is something that can contain multiple objects or variables. So for example, if you have an array of the type int, that means that you will be able to store multiple numbers, for example 15, 20, etc. And if you have an array of string objects, that means that you can store different messages inside of it. To declare an array is pretty simple. Basically you type out the type, for example will it be an int or a string. We are going to start by declaring an int array. You type out the type and then you type these brackets. That means that it is one-dimensional array. I will cover what two-dimensional arrays are in the next video. And then you type out the name. For example, I am going to call this int array. There we go. There are different ways that you can initialize an array, and I'm going to show you two of them. Basically, the first way is to do something like this. You initialize it by equal to and then new int. Then you type out the brackets again and you specify the size of the array. For example, let's say the array contains 10. That means that it can contain 10 different int variables. And I'm going to show you how you can access each of these positions. In order to refer to a position inside of an array, you type out the name of the array, int array, for example. Then you type out these brackets again, and then you type the position. And the first position in an array is actually 0. So we're going to set the position 0 in array to 5. And of course the next position, which is actually position 2, is position 1. And let's set it to 10. And I'm just going to print these out in order to show you that it actually works. System out print int array position 1. There we go, and let's run the program. And you can see it types out a 5 and a 10. And we only have 10 positions, so if I were to do something like this, this would not work. Yeah, you can see, because the position 10 is actually out of position. Our array can only hold 10 positions, and since the first position is 0, that means that the last position will be the size of our array minus 1. So the last position is actually position 9, size minus 1. And if you ever get an error like this, Java lang array index out of bounds exception, that means that you have tried to access a variable that is not within the reach of the array. For example, if I type out 10, our array is not 11 in size, so we will not be able to reach it. Or if I type out something like minus 5, it will not work either. So if you get an error like that, just check if it, just correct it so it doesn't go outside of your array. Anyways, this is how you can initialize an array in one way. You could of course create a loop, something like this, which is very common. We set I to 0, and then if I is less than int array dot size, dot length. So we're going to loop through our array like this. Int array I equals 5. So basically we start at position 0. Let's just imagine that this is 0, and we're going to set the position 0 equal to 0, and the next position after we go through the loop will increase and it will be 1, and we're going to loop it through all the way. And I'm actually going to print out each of these two, so you can just do something like this. And I'm now going to show you that it works. I could do it like this. It prints out 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is one way that you can initialize a variable or an array. You create a for loop that loops through each position inside of your array, and then you set it to whatever you want. I could for example do I times 5, and it would be 0, 5, 10, etc. So that is one way on how you can initialize an array, or change the values inside of each variable inside of the array. And I'm going to show you a different way on how we can initialize them immediately. You could do something like this, tap out these brackets, and tap out something like 2, 5, 10, 502, blah blah blah. Just type out the numbers or the objects or the classes that have been initialized before. So basically what this will do is that it will create an array with a size that is equal to the amount of positions, for example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this array will have the size 6 positions. Number 2 will be placed in the first position, which is 0. Number 5 will be placed in the second position, which is 1, and etc. all the way up to the position 5. And I'm just going to loop it through so you can see it. I less than int array.size.length, system.out.print line int array I. Something like this will loop it through 2, 5. As you can see, it is in the same order. So that was the basics of arrays. I'm just going to show you how to create a string array. It basically works the same way. You type out the type of the array, and then these brackets, and then the name, for example, string array or something like that. And we're going to initialize it with, you know what? Let's just name it to names. For example, let's say Linus, David, Paul, Victoria, and Rebecca, or something like that. And I'm going to loop this through also. Loop through the array. Names.length, I++, system.out.println, names. There we go, and we're going to run it through. First it prints out all of the numbers from the int array, and then it prints out all of the names. You could change the order that you print them out or access them by doing something like this. We set I equal to the names.length -1. Remember, the last position in an array is always the size -1. So that's why we set I to that immediately. And then you simply check if I is more than or equal to 0, and then you decrease I by 1. And this will print it out in the opposite order. As you can see, it types out Rebecca first, then Victoria, Paul, etc. Another thing that you could do is that if you could loop through an array. You could, for example, increase this I plus equals to 2, something like this, and that would increase I by 2 each time, and it would actually print out every second variable in the array. For example, 2, 10, 243. As I said in the last video, I'm going to upload all of the source code to my GitHub page, which you will be able to access through with the link I'm providing in the comments or in the description of the video. Basically, it's going to link to Java Programming YouTube. And here you can access all of the source code that I have used in the series, or you could just download the whole folder download as a zip or something like that. So yeah, that was pretty much all for this video. Thank you a lot for watching. If you like my videos, please subscribe to the channel and give the videos a thumbs up. It would really help a lot. And stay tuned for the next video. Hopefully I will see you then, and bye bye.